There's an organization in Russia called РУССКАЯ ОБЩИНА. I was stumbling over the pronunciation earlier, and somebody has left a message saying that they need to know more about this, and absolutely, we all need to know more about this. Russia today embodies what scholars now called Russism, a uniquely Russian form of fascism crystallized after the 2022 invasion of Ukraine, and it builds on the works of Ivan Ilyin, a reactionary philosopher admired by Putin, and it includes hallmarks familiar from Mussolini and Hitler, mythologizing the past, glorifying violence, scapegoating minorities, and revering the supreme leader. And the Russia Obshchina is simply one example of this, the Russian community. And the cult of victory in World War II, what Timothy Snyder calls Russia's religion of war, has become a state ideology. And so today, May the 9th, is like a religious a religious festival. The 2020 Victory Cathedral, the constant references to the Red Army's triumphs serve to mask the brutal present, illegal wars, internal suppression, and state terror. And in this context, Putin casts Ukraine as Nazi merely for wanting to exist independently. It is Orwellian. He claims to denazify a country led by a Jewish president while overseeing policies that mimic the fascist regimes of the past, where fascist organizations like the Wagner Brigade, like this Russian community organization, attack civilians, particularly vulnerable civilians, the gay community, elderly people, migrants, and terrify neighborhoods. The Kremlin now operates through proxies like the Russian community, a fascistic paramilitary network strikingly similar to the Black Hundreds of the Tsarist era. This group, backed by security service and Orthodox ultra-nationalists like Konstantin Malofeyev, attacks minorities, LGBTQ people, non-Russians with near impunity. It's become Russia's largest far-right organization with a significant digital following. Over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and hundreds of thousands more across Telegram and VKontakte. Its actions, coordinated with local police, this makes it into a sort of pogrom organization, are no longer just fringe extremism. They're institutionalized tools of state repression reminiscent of the Nazi SA. And like the SA, they radicalize their opposition, stoking a domestic conflict that Putin may one day use to justify further crackdowns or even civil war. The ideology of Russism, the sort of greater Russia, is not abstract. It's made real in prison basements, in torture chambers, and occupied schools repurposed for psychological warfare. The evidence of Ukrainian soldiers tortured in Russia is further evidence of this malaise. Eyewitnesses and international reports describe appalling torture of these Ukrainian prisoners of war and civilians, electrocution, cold water punishments, the persecution and the torture of journalists, sexual violence, mock executions. A British volunteer, Sean Pinner, recounted scenes indistinguishable from ISIS captivity, blindfold beatings, staged deaths. The photojournalist Zoya Shu has documented survivors who ate rats to survive, who lost limbs to frostbite, who were forced to sing the Russian anthem under duress. Others simply disappeared. This is psychological torture on a mass scale, a strategic deployment of ambiguity to break the will of families and communities. This torture is not incidental. It's systematic and documented by the UN as crimes against humanity, and over 147 Ukrainian prisoners of war have been executed. This is not a matter of rogue acts. This is policy. And yet, the Kremlin continues to frame Ukraine as fascist. This grotesque inversion of reality is central to Russian state media. Ukrainians are called Nazis, traitors, vermin. In truth, Ukraine is a pluralist democracy, while Russia is increasingly a militarized single-party kleptocracy under the de facto permanent rule of Putin and his cronies, not even necessarily Putin. As we know, Putin may well be in a smeg fridge dead. What we see is the image of Putin, the idolatry of Putin. Putin has become his own state's religion. The deflection is designed to confuse foreign observers, erode solidarity with Ukraine, and insulate Russians from moral responsibility. It weaponizes memory, particularly the memory of Nazism, to justify genocidal intent. And as Putin said of dissenters, they will be spat out like gnats. This is fascist rhetoric. Don't be in any doubt. Today, Russia's fascism is no longer hypothetical. It wears uniforms, it runs telegram channels, it leaves bruises on the bodies of the disappeared. The Russian community, this organization, is not a warning sign, it is a manifestation of the fascism in Russia. The torture of Ukrainian prisoners of war is not anecdotal and accidental, it's a manifestation of the fascism in Russia. It is policy. And Putin's invocation of anti-fascism is not just hypocrisy, it is strategic evil. It is policy. This war is not only about territory or power, it's about the defense of truth against a regime that lies, that tortures, that kills. And Trump thinks he can deal with this regime while accusing its victims of the very crimes that it commits. This is vexatious, this is wrong, this is fundamentally evil.